Welcome back to Crime and Coffee Chronicles. I'm grateful you're here because some stories deserve to be heard, even when they're hard to swallow. It was just after 5 a.m. on May 17th, 2005, when a frantic 911 call shattered the quiet in Alexandria, Kentucky. A woman's voice, breathless. "He shot my husband. Somebody broke in." She sounded terrified, but soon that fear would feel rehearsed. When police arrived at the Bosley cabin, they found chaos: shattered glass, drawers flung open, cabinets torn apart, and in the bedroom, Robert Bob Bosley, 42 years old, was slumped forward, shot 6 times while he slept. At first, it looked like a home invasion. But the details didn't match. The story didn't add up. The children's memories didn't align. And a bundle of evidence, hidden deep in the washing machine, changed everything. This is the story of Bob Bosley, a man who built a legacy with his hands and was brought down by the one person he trusted most. Bob Bosley was born in 1962 in Alexandria, Kentucky. He wasn't born into money. He earned it, every dollar. He started small: chimney sweeping, roof repairs, long hours, sweat and grit. But Bob hated the paperwork, the taxes, and the payroll, the numbers. He wanted to be on rooftops, not in an office. He wanted the wind in his face, not a spreadsheet on his desk. And that's where Amy came in. Amy Pave was smart, ambitious. From a modest home with big plans, she studied business administration and worked as a waitress, where she met Bob. He was older, charismatic, successful. She was cautious, but intrigued. Soon she was attending his legendary lake parties, and not long after, she was living in his world. They married in 1990. Amy left school and took over the company books. Bob was relieved. He could focus on what he loved: the business, the lake, the freedom. Amy handled the finances, all of them. And under her watch, the business flourished. They bought rental properties, luxury cars, a boat, a plane. They were building their dream home, a 14-acre estate with stained glass windows, a stone tower, even Gothic gargoyles. To the outside world, they were untouchable, admirable, respected. They donated services to struggling families, volunteered at church, gave to local schools. In Campbell County, the Bosleys were royalty. So when Bob was found dead in his own bedroom, the shock hit everyone. Local businessman Steve Taylor said it best: "That sort of thing doesn't happen here." And it didn't make sense. Amy told police a man had broken in. White, bad breath, a nasal voice. She said he attacked her and shot Bob. But police started to notice things. The shattered door glass. Most of it was outside, not inside. Cabinets open, but nothing stolen. Prescription bottles dumped across the bathroom floor. 2 shell casings near Bob's body. And then 4 more shell casings, tucked inside a cloth, hidden at the bottom of the family's washing machine. Why would an intruder pause to hide shell casings in the laundry? Amy claimed there was a struggle. She had marks on her chest, but the scratches were too symmetrical, too clean. Her blouse? Not torn, but carefully cut with scissors and ripped for effect. Even more damning, the kids' stories. Morgan was 9. Trevor was 6. They told investigators they woke up to gunshots, then heard glass breaking. But Amy said the opposite. Her timeline was crumbling. Then came the IRS. They had been trying to contact Bob for months. The company owed more than $1.5 million in back taxes, letters, phone calls, warnings. But Bob never got any of them, because Amy had redirected all IRS mail to a private P.O. box only she could access. And when agents called, someone pretending to be Bob answered, but the voice was high-pitched. Wrong. One agent later said it sounded like Kermit the Frog. It wasn't Bob. It was Amy. Detective Dave Fickenshire said, "If someone burglarized a house, they wouldn't take time to hide shell casings in the washer." The motive was clear. Amy had been stealing from the company for years. She was about to be caught, and she knew what that meant. Divorce, disgrace, prison, and so she made a decision. But did she ever really love him? Some say yes, that maybe it started with love, but ended with resentment and fear. Others say it was always about control. The money, the image, the power. Bob wasn't perfect. Rumors swirled about affairs, long lake weekends, secrets. But no one deserves what happened. Not Bob, not their kids. Amy pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in 2006. She said it was to spare her children from testifying. She never explained what happened to the money. She never apologized. She never spoke Bob's name again. At sentencing, Bob's family confronted her. His brother James said, "You are a liar and a fake." His sister Deborah asked, "Did he beg you to stop?" Their mother, Audrey, she simply said, "I never got to say goodbye." Amy was sentenced to 20 years. Under Kentucky law, she would be eligible for parole after 17. And on May 17th, 2022, 17 years to the day after she pulled the trigger, Amy Bosley walked free. Her current whereabouts? Unknown. The stolen millions? Still missing. Bob Bosley hated bookkeeping, so he handed it to the woman he loved, and in return, she ended his life. He built a business, a family, a future, and in one night, it was all taken away. Sometimes the greatest betrayals don't come from strangers in the dark, but from the hands that once held yours. To close this story, take a breath and pour yourself a Lake Legacy Latte. 1 cup of strong black coffee, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, 1/3 cup of steamed oat milk, a dash of cinnamon, a drop of vanilla. Stir it slow, sip it steady, and think of the ones we've lost. To silence, secrets, and shattered trust. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Crime and Coffee Chronicles. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and always keep your coffee strong.